What are my top 5 forgiving drivers for mid to high handicappers in 2019? Let's find out, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is your very first time watching my content, first of all, welcome to the channel, and second of all, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. On this channel, I bring you guys daily golf-related content that helps you raise your game, lower your handicap, and hopefully just gets you enjoying golf that tiny bit more. In today's video, I'm covering my top 5 forgiving drivers for mid to high handicappers in 2019. And before we start this video, I'd just like to say that this video is my opinion. It is an opinionated video. It is my personal top 5 forgiving drivers that mid to high handicappers could or should be using in 2019. I've done a lot of work this year on drivers. I've tested pretty much every driver on the market. I've even had it in the hands of my very own, or our very own, mid-handicap tester, Mark. Mark is loving testing these drivers, and I have picked his brains a little bit for this video. Also guys, before we get started, I want you to hit those comments below, hit the comment section, and tell me, what do you think my top 5 drivers are? What are your top 5 forgiving drivers for mid to high handicappers? And if I miss any out, so at the end of the video, revisit those comments and let me know what you would have in there and what you'd take out. Without any further ado, coming in at number 6, got ya. You see, this is a funny one because the TaylorMade mini driver for me isn't really a driver as such. The original one mini driver for me is more like kind of a heavy duty 3-wood. It's obviously not the same size head as a driver, and it's obviously not the same loft as a driver, and it's not the same length as a driver. So from there, it kind of gets you thinking, although it's forgiving, and although you can hit fairways with it, it doesn't really belong in this video, but I felt like the video wouldn't be complete without it in there, so I guess we're going to call that number 6. Now, when I've done videos like this before, people always comment below and ask me, what do you define as a forgiving driver? What does forgiving mean? What does forgiveness mean? So for me, a forgiving driver is a driver that helps you maintain ball speed, hit more fairways, and generally helps you get away with that a little bit more. So for example, a TaylorMade M5 Tour with the weight settings forward to lower the center of gravity is not a forgiving driver. A Cobra F9 with the weight setting forward is not a forgiving driver. The brand new Ping LS Tech low spin technology is not a forgiving driver. But coming in at number 5 for me is the Mizuno St190 driver. For me, this has been a fantastic driver. I even did a video on it being the most underrated driver of 2019. Now, I have done reviews on all these clubs that are in my top 5, so if you do want to see those, I'll try and link them throughout, or they will be on my channel if you want to go and find them. The Mizuno St190 features the wave technology underneath, the SP700 core technology face, which helps you maintain ball speed on off center hits, and also has a weighting at the back of the driver to bring CG back and just allow a little bit more forgiveness, which in this video is pretty much the name of the game, isn't it? All these aspects combined make the Mizuno driver a fairly easy driver to hit. It helps you maintain ball speed on off-center hits, and it is available in the St190G, where you can move the weights forward and back. So if you want to make it more forgiving or less forgiving, there is always that option. Coming in at number 4. Number 4 on my list of forgiving drivers for 2019, the Callaway Epic Flash. But I've said I'm not going to do that anymore, so I'll cut that there. The Callaway Epic Flash driver has been fantastic this year. The flash face technology is pretty revolutionary. It is artificially intelligence designed. No, it is designed by artificial intelligence, so a computer has designed this face to make it the most forgiving face regarding ball speed, so that if you hit it here, 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 or here, the face will have different depths to allow different ball speeds, and so on and so forth. Basically, if you don't hit the middle of the face with this thing, it doesn't rob you of ball speed and distance like some other drivers on the market. The flash face works together with the jailbreak technology, which works together with the carbon crown, which makes this a good driver for 2019, a forgiving driver for 2019, and a pretty long driver for 2019. I was torn between the Sub-Zero version of this and the TaylorMade M5, which I'm currently using. The Sub-Zero version is with the weight set forward. It is a smaller head. It is not as forgiving as this Callaway Epic Flash. But if you don't want a forgiving driver, there's no reason why you'd be watching this video, but the Sub-Zero version is also available. The driver comes as standard with the Golf Pride multi-compound align grip, And I know what you're thinking, well, when I change the face, the align grip's not going to be right, but then the face won't be right and the align grip. No. The Callaway OptiFit allows you to change the face angle, change the loft angle, while the grip stays in exactly the same place. That's a great idea. Also, we have the adjustable weights on the back, so if you want to tweak this over to a fade setting or a draw setting, it kind of alters the CG a little bit. I say a little bit. I've never really been a massive fan of adjustable weights, just saying. But you can alter the CG a tiny bit around the back of the club, and that should help you promote a draw or a fade ball flight. In my opinion, with its beautiful stealth-like looks on top and the green and yellow underneath, this is up there with the best looking drivers of 2019, and it is number 4 of my most forgiving drivers for 2019. Number 3, the TaylorMade M6. TaylorMade have absolutely killed it in 2019 with their driver range, with the woods range. The irons have been pretty good. TaylorMade are having a very, very good year. The putters are also quite good and the balls are decent as well. But the M6 was a nice advancement from the M4. We still have the carbon crown. We still have twist face. This time the twist face is speed injected. Now, I'm not going to go into that too much, but the idea behind the speed injected twist face is that if you hit the ball off the top of the club here, out of the toe, and the bottom of the club there, the face will gear slightly differently to allow you to hit more fairways. I've tried testing that, and to be honest, that isn't the reason why this club is in the top 3. I do like how the ball comes off the face. I think it is a lovely shape. We have a nice weight located in the back of the head here. That is known as the inertia generator, and for me, this thing works wonders. It does very, very well. I've seen Mark, the mid-handicap tester, hit this thing from kind of here, I think potentially here once upon a time, and still hit the fairway with it. He loves this thing. He swears by it. For me, there's a couple of drives on the market which I think are a little bit more forgiving, but the carbon crown, the speed injected twist face, the inertia generator, and its overall good looks puts this for me in number 3 of my forgiving drivers of 2019. You can also get the TaylorMade M6 in the D type, so just like in some other drivers, they'll move the weighting into the heel, which should slow that proportion of the face down. And from there, if you hit that big slice generally, it should straighten it out a tiny bit. It's getting close, isn't it? Number 2. What do we think number 2 is? For me, the driver that ranks 2nd in forgiveness for 2019 is the Ping G410 driver. This thing had a lot to live up to with the G400. The Ping G400 was probably, for mid to high handicappers, the best driver of 2017 and 18. It was phenomenal. It worked really well. The G400 Max blew a lot of things out of the water for mid handicappers, high handicappers. I even fitted a few beginners into that driver and they absolutely loved it. The G410 is the next generation on from there. We have the movable weights in the back. We have the Dragonfly technology under the hood this time. So for me, that makes it look more aesthetically pleasing than the G400. That's replaced with these lovely stripes on the back, which is designed for more aerodynamics. We still have the turbulators. We still have the heat-treated forged titanium face. And we now have a much, much, much better aesthetic look with a miles better colour scheme instead of that rusty dishwater, which was on the G400. The G410 comes in a couple of different head options. It comes in now the LS Tech, which I reviewed just this week. If you want to see a link to that, I will put it in the description. That, however, is not the forgiving version. That is a smaller headed version with the weight moved forward, CG forward for a lower spinning ball flight. It's also available in potentially what could be a more forgiving option for yourself in the SF Tech, the straight flight technology. So similar to the TaylorMade M6, the weight is moved into the heel, it slows that proportion of the head down, and if you hit that big slice, it should hopefully bring it back into target. Guys, let me know, would you like to see me test the SF Tech and the D type against the standard heads, or are you not too fussed? The funny thing with the G410 is you actually have the movable weights in there. This is the first Ping driver that has had movable weights in there, and for me, it is definitely a first generation of movable weights. The weight actually comes all the way out and then you have to kind of move it and screw it back in. So when it comes out, be careful you don't lose it because it fell on the floor when I did it. But I don't really know why we have this kind of looking like it's a sliding weight. For me, that makes no sense at all. But the Ping comes in at number 2 for my most forgiving drivers of 2019. I can see you all on the end of your seats. I can see you edging forward and forward and forward. Ooh, nearly went then. What's left? What possibly can beat the Callaway Epic Flash in forgiveness? What can possibly beat the Ping G410 in forgiveness? The M6 in forgiveness? The Mizuno ST190? What can beat that in forgiveness? The Titleist TS2. This thing for me is Brilliant for mid to high handicap golfers. When I tested this thing, I was amazed how straight the face looks, and for me that definitely puts me at ease when I'm stood over the golf ball. I've not got the curves on it, it just looks like a box. The Titleist TS2 comes with what's known as a speed chassis, so we have an ultra thin titanium crown, an ultra thin face, and a nice weight at the back of the club there to help with forgiveness, move CG back, and help you potentially hit more fairways. Personally, this just shows how far Titleist have come as a company. If you'd have said a couple of years ago that a Titleist driver was the most forgiving driver of 2019, remember this is purely opinion, then I would have laughed in your face. Titleist drivers in the past have always been known as difficult to hit, difficult to get on with. You need to be a player, you need to be a player, you need to be a player. Whereas now Titleist are really catering for the majority of golfers. We obviously have the TS3, we now also have the TS4, which are the slightly lower spinning versions, the slightly less forgiving versions, but this thing is designed to get the ball launching, get it travelling, get it moving, hopefully towards the target, and again, hit more fairways. Now for me, when Titleist released the TS2 and TS3, the TS project, everyone stood there with the signs, I stood there as well with the sign that said how much ball speed you gained on your current driver. That was probably a little bit excessive, it was a little bit much, but it does go to show the confidence which Titleist had in this product, or have in this product, when it comes to maintaining ball speed. You can pretty much hit this thing pretty much anywhere and still get a decent ball speed. You will see a drop if you go away from the centre of the club, that's always going to happen, but generally you're going to see an improvement in your front to back dispersion. So a lot of times when we talk dispersion, we talk right, we talk left, we talk about hitting the fairway. That is great, and for me the straight face on this helps, and the weight in the back of the club helps for that. But the big thing which a lot of companies miss out, although we are touching on it a lot more now, is maintaining ball speed on off-centre hits. Say if you need to carry a bunker out there at 230, 240, you need to be able to rely on yourself and your equipment that you can carry that driver even if you hit it slightly out the toe, even if you hit it slightly out the heel. And that's one thing which when I was fitted for the TS2 and TS3 was explained to me very, very well, and it was proven on the TrackMan data. So there we have it guys, they are my top 5.5 forgiving drivers for mid to high handicap golfers in 2019. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you don't agree with this, that is absolutely fine. Comment below and let me know. Let me know if you'd have the Cobra F9 in there. Let me know if you'd have the TaylorMade M5 in there. Let me know if you'd have the TS3 in there. Let me know if you'd have anything else in there, guys. Let me know if you'd have the Wilson driver in there. Apart from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed that video. As always, if you have liked the video, leave a like, smash those comments below, and as always, I will look forward very much to seeing you tomorrow.